Cloud is a character that needs no introduction, though we'll give him one anyway. Pretty much anyone that's into video games knows about Cloud Strife. One of the biggest characters ever, from one of the biggest franchises ever, with one of the biggest swords ever. As soon as Cloud entered the Smash series, he lived up to the hype, becoming so strong in Smash 4 that he was a meta menace. Like Bayonetta, he's received his fair share of nerfs, and while he isn't as dominant anymore, he's still strong. In keeping with this Final Fantasy iteration, Cloud is a quick and dynamic character with a very satisfying aesthetic and design. He feels satisfying to play because a lot of his moves work like 1-2 punches and flat out look cool. On top of that, Cloud is surprisingly simple to play and learn, despite his specials all having different variants when he charges up his limit. His moves communicate their hitboxes very well, with a big slash of green, and their size helps players learn how to use sword characters and others with disjoints. While Cloud makes for a strong starting character, he has enough tricks and complexity to work well at higher levels too. When he gets an opponent in the air, he can juggle and put on damage very well. And once he has an opponent at high damage, he can use limit to close out the stock in some flashy and effective ways. Cloud is great for a player looking for a satisfying character with a few frills and a lot of fundamentals. Cloud's most unique feature is his limit. Limit is a chargeable resource for Cloud that, when fully charged, increases his falling speed and empowers all of his specials, making all of them except the up special very good kill moves. The catch is, his limit only lasts for 15 seconds and will deplete as soon as he uses any of his specials, hit or miss. It can be charged by taking damage, dealing damage, or pressing down and B, and in most matches by a combination of the three. Limit obviously matters a lot to Cloud's gameplay, and is one of the hardest elements of his to learn. Cloud's limit is a pretty slow charge, and it keeps him stuck in an animation after releasing the charge. So it's best to charge it after taking a stock or after knocking an opponent off the stage in a situation where you can't edge guard them well. When you have a limit, you get a lot of kill and damage pressure as your special, except down special, with each do around 30%. Cloud's neutral special is the long range option, traveling across the entirety of a lot of stages with the limit buff. His down special does just 1% of damage when charged, but surrounds him in kills. His up special travels a lot higher with limit, making it better for recovering. When you have limit, you don't want to spend it on an up special unless you have to. While limit makes your recovery and defensive game stronger, it's usually better to use it to get early kills. His side special, cross slash, takes the cake in terms of kill power. Every other option using limit is a mix-up. Cross slash is the main option. Cross slash is your first option because it comes out super quickly, can be activated in the air, power through shields, and of course, can kill your opponent. This tool is so good that it's easy to rely too heavily on it and get punished for it. Since Cloud's limit only lasts for 15 seconds, it's pretty easy for savvy opponents to see you fishing for a cross slash, wait for you to miss it, and hit you while you're stuck in animation. Remember that it's better to let the limit expire, or use a hard to punish limit option, like neutral special, overcommitting too hard for a cross slash only to be punished. Since limit also gives falling speed, it makes aerials safer and easier to land, so you don't need to rely on your specials either. As Cloud, your limit can frighten opponents into going into the air and trying to dodge you, where you can juggle them or take the stock. Just like in Final Fantasy, Cloud's ultimate move is really just knocking someone into the air and hitting them over and over again until they die. Cloud has one of the better juggles in Ultimate and does a great job of knocking and keeping opponents in the air. As Cloud, it isn't a bad game plan to try and push the opponent into a platform or into the air and then stay underneath them for as long as you can, building as much percent as possible. Cloud's up tilt and up air are the main strengths of his juggle game. His up tilt hits in a wide radius around him that can easily catch opponents above, in front, or behind him. It will always pop your opponent upward, and at lower percents it leads right into another up tilt, and another after that for taller and heavier opponents. At middle percents, it can reliably string into up airs. With Cloud, you want to hit the opponent with an up tilt, or with an up throw, then juggle them with more up tilts and up airs. Like his up tilt, Cloud's up air sends opponents straight upward, with small variations depending on their DI or the angle of the hit, making it easier for you to follow up with another aerial. On top of that, Cloud's up air lasts a while and has 2 hits to it, making it harder to dodge. Start by looking for up tilts, then using Cloud's speed to stay under your opponent and hit up airs. Then you can use Cloud's stronger aerials like forward or back air to injure, juggle, or catch opponents trying to drift to the left or to the right of you. These attacks both do more damage and kill much earlier, but they're slow and don't set up for juggles well because they push opponents closer to the ledge, where they're invincible. While Cloud does have good offensive tools, he does lack for defensive ones, and that's exactly why it's great to keep your opponents on the back foot, where they'll have trouble developing an offense. Most of Cloud's moves have notable startup time, making it tough to break combos or stop an aggressive opponent. While his recovery is pretty subpar, in the air, his best defensive tool is his neutral air. It activates faster and goes around Cloud, making it safer, though less rewarding because it doesn't do much damage or knockback. On the ground, he can use his up special out of shield, or he can use his down tilt to duck under some moves. No RPG or Smash character is complete without pure damage. Fortunately, Cloud has some great ways to rack it up. Most of his attacks do over 8%, and some can do up to around 30 with limit. Cloud has a lot of versatility and options in how to build percent, as well as some solid moves. The easiest way to do damage as Cloud is to land your cross slashes. Cross slash isn't too hard to land either, as long as you're not spamming it because it's easily punishable. You can use forward tilt at lower percents and down air at higher percents to set up for a cross slash too. Back air can also lead to a cross slash if you short hop, fast fall, and then B-reverse the cross slash. Cloud is hardly limited to his cross slash either. His forward air, back air, forward tilt, and up special all do good damage, while even his jab does solid damage. Cloud's damage will depend a lot on how you hit though, and that can be tough to adjust to. For instance, the very first hit of Cloud's up special only does about 3%, but the entire move does around 18%. When building up damage, your best single hit options are forward and back air, as well as forward tilt. Your best options for strings are up tilts, short hop, up airs as you're falling, and sometimes down tilts, as these moves knock an opponent into the air and let you follow up with an aerial or up tilt. Once you've beaten up your opponent like they're a boss that you spent the entire day grinding for, you can look for the kill. As we said in our limit section, pretty much all of Cloud's limit specials are viable, but they aren't the only option. Back air and forward air are also great options. Forward air will spike opponents off stage on certain hits and sends them pretty far horizontally on others, making it good for edge guarding. While back air has more knockback, making it better knocking opponents off stage from the center. Cloud smash attacks are solid kill options too. His down smash is his fastest and safest. It's great for ledge trapping and catching rolls, while his forward and up smash have surprising range, meaning you can dash back and trick an opponent into getting hit by a forward or up smash.